Hello everyone, namaste. So, we are going to talk about the topic change your opinions, keep to your principles, change your leaves, keep your roots intact. So, we are taking everyone's perspective on this quotation. So, Deepa wants to talk today. Yeah, Deepa.
Namaste, everyone. So when I went through the write-ups, what everybody has contributed on the group, I realized that everybody seems to have understood this fact that basic principles and basic values have to remain intact while with the changing times and with the change in circumstances, your perception of the things may change. So as I said, I would like to give you examples from various field of my experiences, how I try to apply this. So first, I would say like professionally. Professionally, like Arju, you are aware, but like we were representing Fuji for their industrial products in India and the SAARC countries, right? So for 10, 12 years, we did a lot of groundwork. We developed a client base, everything. And every time, like during that phase, like our competitors were Siemens, ABB, or all multinationals. But never once, we did any or we indulged into any kind of yellow marketing. We never said कि ABB खराब है या Siemens खराब है, nothing. We always used to focus कि हमारे product के क्या positive points हैं and where we are better than the other or whatever. हाँ. So later when Fuji started, हम लोगों का जो groundwork इतना था and then we achieved a very good turnover and everything. So Fuji felt कि ये इतनी छोटी 5 लोगों की company कर सकती है, why not we come down to India? So they started their operations in India, and in the process when we were representing we were the only people for all the SAARC countries. उन लोगों ने hundreds of distributors खुद के बनाए, and there was a lot of mess up in the whole situation, internal competition ये वो, तो we left Fuji. And then we got the product, similar product developed in China and started brand labeling in our name. It took 2-3 hours and numerous visits and numerous R&D from our end and getting it done and everything. But even then, when we started marketing this product from what we got it manufactured, our base was same. We never once said कि Fuji kharab hai. Fuji is very good, but we gave the people that we being small timers, हम लोगों का service response, हम लोगों का after sales service का जो है grassroots since हमने develop किया है, so we can do the repairs on grassroots levels. We can respond to your service calls or your emergency calls within 24 hours. Unlike Fuji or people who are big white elephants, big giants, there are protocols to be maintained. This that. Then we told them that we have tried to inculcate the problems we had faced with Fuji, and those we have. Like Indian conditions are altogether different. Hamara ambient temperature is like 40-45 degrees and all.
So come to the point. Come to the point, Deepa.
So all the things what we have inculcated, these are our positive points. We are never going to say that Fuji is bad. Fuji is good, but these are our advantages.
So you said that we did everything, but we stuck to our principles that not to.
Base principle what we are not going to indulge in any kind of yellow marketing. We are going to say only project focus on our positive points. We are not going to demean the other product ki nahi bhai aaj ye kharab ho gaya. No, we had represented them for so many years. So this was our strategy. Second, I would come to now, relationships. Like when the children, I would give an example of our children ke sath relationship. When the children are small, see, that is our moral responsibility. We have to teach our children right and wrong ka difference, and we have to, that is our obligation towards them, that we make them into good human beings. So when the child is younger, उसके problems अलग होते हैं, but तब शायद हम थोड़ा कभी छिड़के और just I am saying so ऐसा बोल के भी हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं, बच्चों को अपनी बात जो है वो मनवाते हैं. Now the children are young adults, so we have to change the strategy. We cannot say कि just because I'm saying you have to follow this. This thing is totally अभी तो problems भी different होते हैं. But also, the second thing also we cannot shrug our responsibility कि बच्चे तो सुनते नहीं हैं. They don't want to listen to us, or they find it we are nagging at this. So we have to again change. The roots remain the same. My unconditional love towards my child, my responsibility towards my child, that she should be a good human being and she should, be successful in life. That root remains same, but my strategy has changed. I discuss with her man-to-man discussion as an adult, and then I also accept the boundaries. Whether she follows, she doesn't follow, but pros and cons discuss karo, and then आप accept karo
Leave it to,
situation.
हाँ,
Leave it to them. And again, when you feel कि नहीं इतना बताने के बाद भी यदि नहीं, तो again maybe second time also you have to tell, because एक बार में बच्चा मानता है सुनता है जरूरी नहीं है. But then again the root remains the same, that she should not fumble, she should be a good human being, but my strategy has changed. Then I would come to like this spiritual thing also. Like earlier, we both of us have read so many books together and this, but as I said कि nowadays I find it, वो इतना heavy material पढ़ने से अच्छा if I can meditate for 20 minutes or just sit still and be. हाँ? वो जरूरी नहीं है, even in office you can find this 20 minutes 25 minutes for yourself, like मेरा खुद का office है इसलिए maybe, but if I want, so I feel that strategy मुझे है evolve होना है, I want to grow, but that reading of books, that once upon a time उससे मेरे को बहुत मिलता था positive वो, अभी मेरे को ऐसा लगता है कि यार ये मेरे को याद नहीं रहता है, इससे अच्छा तो मैं 20 मिनट शांति से बैठ के meditate ही करूँ. I feel that is more fruitful for me. So in this spiritual aspect, I feel the root is the same. I want to evolve. I want to know who I am, but my strategy has changed. I've changed my foliage. I've changed my leaves. Then again, like for brain, mental exercise, I would say. Reading those books और इतना वो कठिन वाले वाक्य पढ़ने के बाद उसको interpret करके सोचना, it used to be a very good exercise for my brain. So even I want my brain to be active, dementia वगैरह टाइप का चीजें नहीं चाहिए मुझे आगे. So I need to keep my brain active, and I want to have some exercise for the brain. So I started learning Veda. वेद में जो है मतलब intonations are very very important. The script is different. Like in one single word also, कहाँ ऊपर जाना है नीचे जाना है, so
it helped.
memorizing.
Very
और
nice.
मेमोराइजिंग तो इम्पोर्टेंट है ही, वो तो आपके ब्रेन को स्टिमुलेट करता ही है, बट व्हेन आई हैव टू लर्न द इंटोनेशंस विद करेक्ट ऊपर नीचे कहाँ जाना है, किसको ज्यादा खींचना है, व्हाटएवर, सो दैट इज अ वेरी गुड एक्सरसाइज फॉर माय ब्रेन. एंड एट टाइम्स व्हाइल आई एम मेडिटेटिंग आई एम ट्राइंग टू रिकॉल कि अरे ये नीचे जाता है क्या, ये हाँ नीचे जाता है क्या, नमो का so that is how I'm keeping my brain also active. So in all the things, I felt the base is the same. I want to be, spiritually evolved. I want to keep my brain active. I want to be a work towards the betterment of my child or whatever. So the roots are the same, but the scenario, the foliage of the whole thing has changed as per the circumstances with the time. With the this thing, like Priya has written ना कि पहले कांग्रेस मुझे अच्छी लगती थी.
बहुत अच्छा लिखा है उसने.
मैं बोलने ही वाली थी, बट मैंने कहा कि उसने ऑलरेडी मेंशन कर दिया है, तो बट यस, whoever is working for my country, I am with that party.
Whether it is Congress, whether it is BJP, whether it is anyone,
whoever is making use of taxpayers' money, I am with that party. So that is also a very good perception and with very good example. So this is my take on this particular quote.
Yeah. Very nice, Deepa. Thank you so much. So, Varalakshmi, you want to talk?
Yeah, Deepa ma'am, excellent. Actually, same statement I want to say what Deepa ma'am said is stick to your principles. In this, like principles, like the same values which we are taught, which we are learned right from the childhood, like kindness, courageous, and love, respect, honesty, truthfulness. So in this, like these principles, these are our life to lead a happy life or a successful life, or we should know that we are doing things correct. These values will help us to assess, yes, we are doing correct thing. Based on these values, we can correct, we will come to know that yes, we are doing the correct thing. That is the purpose of life. Do good, be good. Now when you go for opinion or the perception, opinion nothing but the perception, there's a viewpoint. It depends on person to person. Even we also have our own viewpoint. Like a simple thing I want to say, like kindness, kindness is what we are taught. We have to be kind to our friends, everyone. So but sometimes it also come to test whether I should be kind to this person or not, because I find something different in that person, behavior is not good, then I started my judgment, I started my viewpoint, my perception changed, then again my kindness has reduced a little. So this is what happening. So the principles again, values again, we are put on a test whether principle को follow करना है or my opinion is correct or not. So
Yes.
again, opinion is not a fact. It is all. This will spoil definitely the relationship, the friendship. If you just by your own opinion or by 2-3 people saying that this person is not correct or good or bad.
Yes.
So
Yes.
better not go to the opinions. Try to stick to our principles. Again, every time the principles also should not be very rigid. Like हाँ मुझे ये करना ही है. So it will again spoil the relationship. Our own stress and all will affect. So better assess properly and maximum. At least we are on this path. Again, I want to say opposite person why he or she behaving like that is again we have did something or maybe that person is in pain. Let go, change your opinion, try to stick to your don't try, stick to your principles. That's all. Thank
Right.
you.
That is very nice you said. और Lakshmi, that opinions जरूरी नहीं change करना ही है, but if you're changing opinion, there always has to be for betterment, not for to, always that we have to see that it is going to evolve us, it is going to make us much more better as a person. So they should not diminish because this person is not helpful to me, so I should not be helpful to that person. So then you are compromising with your principles. So that your principles you should not compromise. If that person is not helpful to you, but you have to be helpful to, because that is your principle, that is your belief that I have to be helpful to that person. So yes.
One statement I heard, one should have a Himalayan data about a person to judge. So
Yes.
this one I heard. Yeah,
Yes.
Pradeep
Osho.
sir, I think.
Pradeep sir, because he quoted Osho, yes.
That really reminded me. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. So Payal?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I've written, but I want to share some experience, like small, like related to it. Actually, I've written all mix of things which had happened like recently only. So it's just a mix of that. Uh, I I was like kind of a person I used to go out with certain friends or maybe a party till late or something like that. I still go out, I still party, but before it was like some things were draining my energy, or maybe I didn't realize that, or it was not me, or it was not helping me anyway, or maybe I didn't want it also, but it was just happening at that time. So now when I see, I still go. It's not like I don't go, but I still go out. I do my things, but in a like different way. Either I come early or set my time, because there are certain other things which are more important, or maybe the priorities have changed. So initially I used to work differently. Now things have changed, but it is giving me like more power to work towards what I want to. Like I feel it
Yes.
from inside. It was very draining initially, and there are certain other things which I've added. I do it like for myself, so that helped me. And also I also think it's very important to be very strong and be okay with that change, and to realize like it's okay if it's changing and it's for better.
Okay,
Uh,
yes.
yeah, because we'll come to know the difference, like before and after. एक अलग सी energy आ जाती है. So that aligns with yourself. You come to
Yes.
know.
So it aligns with your core values, which they are instilled in you, which you never realized initially.
Yeah,
But when you shifted your thought process or your behavior, suddenly you felt
yeah,
very calm, very energetic.
yeah,
Why? Because you are completely aligned or completely connected with your core principles and core values.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that is the reason. Yes.
Yeah. That's the reason. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you,
Yes.
Payal. Pooja?
Thank you.
Namaste, everybody. Actually, I am also thinking on the same lines what everybody are talking about, that opinions can be changed depending upon your perspectives, experiences, I mean, even the dynamics with your own self over a period of time helps you to think differently, to look at relationships differently. So what I was 10 years ago, perhaps what I might be thinking because of some knowledge or experience, or with change of time, my opinion would differ right now. But then, as we are discussing now, I feel the inherent nature of myself, which we also realize over a period of time, perhaps. I think.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
what I must have realized now, perhaps I must have not thought about it like a few years back. So that also is the belief or the core nature, not the belief, but the core value what you have. But that has to, I think that is the root on which I'm going to stand straight, which might influence my opinion also later, some point of time. And I think then it has to be for the betterment, perhaps. Learn something from it. Oh, that is my take on it, I think. So
Yeah,
that base
that
has
is
to be the same, which I think I'm still in the process of learning. I cannot say that these are only the values. I must have gathered them. The samskaras are also coming, your upbringing, your conditioning, all of them. It's the entire gamut, I feel, which is,
Yeah,
working
exactly.
and playing.
Exactly. It is
On
like,
that,
it
yeah,
is like we keep on, trial and error. We keep
yes,
changing our
yes,
opinion with the
yes,
situation. कि हो
yes,
सकता है, this may help me if I change myself. But then
yes,
we realize after following that, no, it is not working. Then again we change.
yes,
So some point comes when
yes,
that suddenly that behavior of ours or that opinion or that decision of ours suddenly strike with us
yes,
somewhere. And that is what our, inherent core, which we
yes,
are touching. And everyone's inherent core values and principles are same. Our soul, everyone's soul wants the same thing. Those follow the righteousness, follow the right path, follow the same principles, which, which are easy for you to evolve, go towards something betterment of yours, that you are learning something, you are making yourself much more evolved person. तो जब ये strike होता है हमारे साथ, then we feel at home. Then we feel, yes, I am on the right track. तब तक we keep changing leaves, we keep changing probably, decisions and opinions. Yeah, thank you, Pooja. Varsha?
Hello, Annie. As I have mentioned, I think here we are comparing our opinions with leaves. As I have mentioned, leaves
Yes.
grow, they fall, and again they grow. So similarly, our opinions differ from time to time, depending upon the situation or the persons we meet. So naturally, we are going to have different opinions. And it is always good to have different opinions also. We have to change over the period of time. Sticking to old opinions or holding on those things, it is not advisable also. We have to change as per the time. But while doing all this, what we have to keep in mind is that we should not compromise with our best values or with our principles. That is what I think the baseline is. So the principles like compassion, respect for ourselves, respect for others, then we should be true to ourselves. So we should not compromise with these principles when we are changing. So changing is for by the betterment, no doubt, but that should not be at the cost of losing these principles. That is the baseline. So
Yes.
like leaves, and you have taken the example of roots. As the root they grow deep, they provide food to the tree and also hold it firmly, steadily. So similarly, our principles are holding us with stability. So our principles are like the roots and our opinions are like the leaves. I think that is the comparison he has mentioned.
Yeah, good. Thank you, Varsha. Vandana? Vandana, you are there? I think she is not there. Okay,
Yeah.
Vandana? Okay,
Yeah,
come.
I was listening to everyone, so I had muted. Though I haven't expressed my in writing, but I feel this is such a wonderful. Victor Hugo is an amazing writer, and
Yes,
I really feel very thought-provoking. How our principles, as we say, the deeper roots, the stronger we are. But our leaves keep changing because change is inevitable. And especially for someone like me, as I said, father being in government servant, I used to wonder how the same principle is applicable in Goa when we were there, when it was in Ahmedabad, when it was in Delhi. So many different kinds of people stay with you, so many different circumstances are there, you study in different schools. So change is inevitable and you imbibe so many good things. But if your principle, so it's what we call as today, we call when I go with my relearn, unlearn, and but unless your core is strong, it's very, very difficult for you to be what should I say, good person in this world.
Like,
Because I see so many, this of parenting has also changed. The definition of parenting has definitely changed, We have seen how parenting has changed in front, and everything that a child does is so awesome. I remember we were never told awesome when we were kids. We used to say, "Baulata iska aisa ka kartis," So that system was very different than what everything is awesome. Just 1 minute, I'll tell you a joke. Not a joke, a humorous thing that had come in Times of India 4-5 days back. That in every company, there's a department which has to give praise to others. So every day there used to be a standee, "Oh, you're awesome. Today your work is fantastic." And one day the praise manager resigned because no one had praised him. So we have to keep changing according to where the world is changing, no doubt. But today, I think our generation is firm because of the values that we have got. And
Very true. Very true.
it
That
has
is
to,
a stark difference between our generation and today's generation.
we can pass on some of it. I know today's generation life is very fast. They have no time and things like that. But if we can pass on some of our principles to our children, definitely, I think the society will be better. We have been able to face so many storms in our life because this Jad was very strong.
Yes,
And,
yes.
we also kept giving it khat pani upar se, so that became stronger, maybe reading good books, listening to people, and
Yes,
like that. But
yes.
we have been able to withstand all these changes because our principle is strong, and we kept to it. We kept to it. We didn't. It's very, very easy to compromise. The easiest thing to do is compromise with your principles. If you want a
Right.
better future, if you want to progress fast, we hear so many stories all across the society every day how people are compromising, maybe to get a role in the film or whatever each one's desire is. But fortunately, I think our generation has stuck to its principle, and that is why we have been able to. So
Yeah.
we really hope we can pass it on to the next
True.
generation, strength of our
True.
roots, so that
True.
they also can lead a more fulfilled life.
We cannot pass actually anything. It is only that they have to learn on their. We can't. I mean, and today's generation is more of experiencing everything on their own, falling on their own, learning on their own. They hardly take anything from the asats asta, or it is like that. So you have to follow. So they are not the people who follow just because
We can.
these are the norms which you have to follow. They don't do that.
No,
They will say,
Archana, but basic principles of respecting. I think you were staying in our building when there used to be, practice in the refugee. This, so one child, we were there in the lift, press the lift button straight at 8. When we told him to get down, no. First, I have to reach because I want to be the first person. So, but these things have to be taught by the mother.
Yeah.
There's a process to it. You cannot always. Everyone cannot always come first. See, this generation is so fragile because everyone wants to come first all the time. How can that happen? So we
See,
have
that is, that comes probably from parents. The parents must be,
Exactly.
talking about the same language, talking about the same things. So instead of, teaching them, we have to live by those principles and values. They only learn from that. They only understand once they grow up, then they realize that what my parents were living to, and then they start following the same thing.
Yeah. We have to, as they say, live what we are saying and wait for them, but guidance, and also hope. We can only pray and hope that what we have imbibed, they will at least imbibe some of it from us, because the world is really changing very fast.
Yes, right.
Thank you, everyone, for giving
Yes.
such points of view. It's such a learning, actually.
I know. And this quotation is like a really simple, looks simple. It is simple to some extent, but to follow or to, connect to our what we are doing is little difficult. Like it, like principles, we can say they are like rules, they are like guidelines, they are like boundaries for the decisions we make in life. We cannot just cross those boundaries just because it is like, at this present moment, was its shortcut. It is not like a shortcut. Take a shortcut and reach there just because for example, like we are driving a car. We have to reach to some destination on time. You can see there are 2-3 cars, breaking a signal and or changing cutting lanes and going fast and all. And we also get tempted to, oh my God, if that person can go, why can't I? Usko to koi pakad nahi raha hai, usse to koi kuch bol nahi raha hai, to mujhe bhi to time pe pahunchna hai, so let me do that. So for once we may do that. And you may reach the destination on time. Then second time also you say, oh, it worked last time. Let me do that second time. So what happens then, instead of making that as a habit, you may for a spur, because soul, they say na, that soul wants experience, all type of experience, good, bad, because soul doesn't understand good and bad and ugly. For soul, it's an experience. So as a human, if you're giving soul that experience of, okay, breaking the signal, going for once, that is okay for once, for experience sake. But if you're following the same thing again, that means you are compromising with your values. That means you're compromising with your principles. That means you're changing your principle. That means you're for that short-term goal. You are compromising your long-term goals. And what are our long-term goals? Everyone has the same long-term goals: to evolve, to change, to go towards, peaceful life, to gain that happiness. That is everyone's long-term. So short-term goal ka kya tha? I cut the lane, I reached on time. That was my short-term happiness. I was very happy that time. Second time again I get caught. I have to pay hefty fine. So what's that towards my long-term goal? Probably I compromised with that and I get caught. Or I met with an accident. So these are, when we compromise with these, our principles and values, somewhere we meet with an accident. It may be of any type. And we say, mere saath hi aisa kyun hota hai? Why these things are happening? So why these things happen with us? Because somewhere we have compromised in our principles, in our values, for those short-term happiness. That is what I feel. And when I was thinking a lot about it, then I realized there's one sutra. Sutra bhi nahi bol sakte. In yoga, we have this Ashtanga yoga mein yam niyam, which we follow. So I realized these yamas, 5 yamas, they are like the 5 principles of our life. These 5 principles, like mostly they do with our behavior, how we behave, how we think towards the life and towards the other beings. These are the simple principles: ahimsa, asteya, satya, brahmacharya, aparigraha. I think we have spoken about these 5 yams and niyams long back. And I think after reading this again, I will take this up again, and I will talk about this again in future. So these, if 5 principles, agar hum, because many times we don't realize what are my principles. Kya hai mere values? Many times there are people who don't know. If I ask someone, many people question this. I don't know what are my principles. I don't know what are the larger principles. Or mujhe ye pata hai ki haan jhoot nahi bolna hai. That is it. Very good. So stick to that one principle. Stick to it, and throughout your life, you have to stick to that one principle and live to that. And that becomes your principle. See, everyone's principle is different. Mine is probably different, Varalakshmi is different, Pooja is different, Deepaka different. Everyone lives by different principles. But everyone has that, best principle for them, that works for them. That they may have inherited from their own family tree, from their family roots. That's why they can, relate with that principle. Probably Deepa may relate with jhoot nahi bolna. Payal may not relate with that. झूठ नहीं बोलना, business करती हूँ मैं, business में तो झूठ बोलना ही पड़ता है. So For her, what will be the principle? For her, she may say ki ahimsa, but then ahimsa may be jhoot nahi bolna hai. Then she may say aparigraha. I will talk about this. So little by little, so that we get to know, and we get to know which principle, is more closer to me, or maybe all five are closer to us. So like ahimsa, they say not harming, no violence, or you should be harming people less and less, not only people, but also the things, also to the living beings, other living beings. You have to, we are eating non-vegetarian food. So what we are doing indirectly, we are harming the other creatures. But then everyone will say ki we are being eating since childhood. Now I can't live without that. Then what that person should do? That person should compensate, for using, no, don't use then animal products. Then you be kind to others in every way, more kind to other people, less harm to them. Try to compensate. If you're not able to, stop eating non-veg food, then you have to compensate yourself in this manner. So this is your core principle. And we know this, not harming people. Somewhere we have been taught in childhood. But we may relate to that, we may not relate to that, you don't know. So, yeah, that is one. Second is Satya. So truthfulness, which is like we all, I think, try to stick to this. But many times it becomes difficult. There are few situations jahan mujhe sach bolna chahiye, but I should not talk, because then it can harm, it can cause, some suffering for that other person, or it may, that person's life may crumble down just because I'm talking the truth. So that time we know we should be discreet whether we should be talking that truth or not. So that discretion we should know, but we should be truthful to our own self always. Suppose there is one example of, yes, I got this example of Vardhani when truthfulness happens. If you remember Varalakshmi, she spoke about it in one session. She said ki once she had gone out for some shopping with her friends outside, and those friends were taking lot of time to purchase things. Ye lo, wo lo, ye lo, ye aisa nahi, ye to kharab hai, वैसा. And they were taking lot of time, and Vardhani was just standing, and she was thinking, kitna time lagate, itna easy to hai, and they are so much fussy, and they are so much choosy. Whatever, some these negative thoughts came to her mind. And when she came home, she was like, could not sleep, could not, her mind was going back again and again. Ki I was, talking negative about these, my friends, and why I was doing that. I have to tell them, I have to tell them. Somewhere her, conscience was, her conscience was telling her, go tell them, go tell them. So this was the truth, because she lives by the truth and she has to tell them. So she once called both the friends on the phone. She says, I want to tell you truth. So they said, what truth? Oh, she says, when you were doing the shopping, these were thoughts crossing my mind. And I'm really, really sorry about that. तो वो कहते, अरे तेरे माइंड में था, हमें तो पता भी नहीं चला. Keep it with you. What does it matter? Why you have to tell? So obviously, now what I'm thinking about Pooja right now, why she bothers. But am I true to myself? It has nothing to do with Pooja or Varalakshmi or Varsha or what I'm thinking about you. It is not going to affect you at all. But whom it is going to affect? It is my conscience. So we have to be true to ourselves. That is the thing which we have to learn about Satya. So this is the other principle which we have to follow. Kitna thoda, see, we can't be like, we are humans, we are learning. We cannot be, perfect every time. But these are the principles we should try, step by baby steps. Try to follow. That's why no negative thoughts about whatever thoughts comes to our mind. We have to stop and, start focusing on our breath. The moment we feel that I'm thinking negative about one, then I'm thinking negative about Varsha. So I should just close my eyes and start focusing on my breath. So this way we can practice. So we have the solution also now. We are into meditation. So we have the solution also how to work on ourselves. So it is not, we said it is impossible. So impossible to nahi, but even these are the baby steps. Ho sakta hai one day will come, not this lifetime, probably in another lifetime, that we become adopt or adapt of these things and how to follow, we become very perfect in our following the principles. Then comes asteya. Asteya is non-stealing. Again, this also हमें पता है कि we have been taught तुम्हारे friend का pencil चोरी करके नहीं लाना. So lot many times our kids used to bring, mom, his pencil was very good, so I just kept it in my purse, in my bag. So what we tell our children, go, tomorrow you have to return the pencil back. You can't keep it with you. There's no stealing. Stealing is bad. So we have told them, but as you grow, somewhere you may be doing some small things. The children may be doing, or we may have done some small stealing. Stealing doesn't mean only materialistic things stealing. Stealing is also someone's thoughts. If Varalakshmi has given me a beautiful idea of something and I picked up her idea and presented somewhere else, saying that this is my idea, what did I do? I stole her idea and presented it as mine. So when we do that, when I liked her idea, I should tell that, see, this idea is my friend's idea, which I really liked, and I'm using it. Nothing harm. Because all the time we are doing that only. See, when we are doing this quotation thing, we are reading, we are taking the help from the Google, we are trying to understand things. It is sometimes there are few things which come when we read, sometimes it comes, our ideas come up. Oh no, we have to behave in this manner. But then we have to take help of someone and we have to accept that I have taken help of so and so and so. That is also asteya. So this is one thing again we have to follow. Then comes brahmacharya. What is brahmacharya? Brahmacharya is always known as, we think of brahmacharya means no sex. We have to, have to abstain from these things, sex. No, it is not only about sex. It is about that also, that we have to be in proportion. We have to be in balance. We have to be using our energy. So sex is nothing but an energy. Right? So whatever form of we are using our energy have to be in completely controlled manner. So if we, like what Payal said, I did party. Partying is not wrong. But if you're overextending, you're using that energy a lot. So what you're doing, you're draining your energy in a very wrong manner. So when you need energy, suppose she has an habit of getting up early in the morning and doing meditation. If you have used your energy at night in partying, so do you have energy getting up in the morning to do the right thing which you have to do? So we don't have that. So we have to be very wiser in using the energy in a healthy manner. So it applies in every aspect of our life. Don't overdo it. Don't overdo sex. Don't overdo any activity, any pleasurable things. Any pleasurable things. Many times it happens. Any pleasure with things which are giving us pleasure, we overdo. Party में मजा आ रहा है, dance में मजा आ रहा है, रात को I'm extending my thing, and okay, then that maza becomes saza after some time. So this is one thing. This is one principle again we have to follow. Then aparigraha, again non-holding. We should not hold things. We should move away from that greed. If I like something, I'm buying 10 things at a time. So if I buy 10 things, five things, I should, just give as a gift to my friends. I like to buy things. I'm buying 10 things. That means I'm capable of buying 10 things. That God is being very kind to me, that he has given me ample amount of, money to buy things for me. Then give that 5 things to your friends or to the needy people. So that way compensate. That way we have to apply all these principles in our life in a small manner. And that way, if we are living in that way, I think our children can follow the same thing when they grow up. Instead of teaching them, they think we should follow. Okay, I'm buying 4 things, so let the children know when they're small. Okay, I bought 4 things, 2 things. See, I'm giving to my friend. Okay, take this and give it to your friends over there, or something like that. So these are the 5 things which we have to follow. Like for party se mujhe yaad hai, I was thinking in teenage times, or when we are growing, we tell our children to go, okay, they insist on partying. They go and party. And then we tell them, ki aise nahi karna, ye nahi karna, wo nahi karna. And, but then they sometimes listen to us, sometimes they don't listen. But if right values are there, principles are there, they come back to us, they tell us, see, mama, aisa hua, this was right, this was wrong, I could not do this, I could do that. So they come and tell us, they are truthful to us. So we should give them that liberty to, okay, go, second time, go again, party. So first time they came and told us, because somewhere their conscience also somewhere hitting them. Second time they will go, they will again party. They may come half an hour early. Next time they go, they will come 1 hour early. So instead of, putting ban on them that you should not party, we should allow them to experience on their own. And then let them form their own principles. So this way, it will be their principle, because that is what they like. They will tell, see, I have learned this, to their friends. They will not say, my parents told me, so I am doing it. For them, that is very, demeaning thing. Oh, tu abhi bhi apne parents ki sunta hai aur sunti hai. For them, that is a very demeaning. So let them slowly, you have to push, let them enjoy, let them know what is right and wrong. Let them inculcate that thing in you. Okay, oh, wow, this is what you are, amazing. So you realize that you should not be partying till 3, till 2 or whatever. So that's why you're coming back on time, 11 o'clock, you're coming back. That is really good. You are amazing. So this way we can, encourage them, and we can make them happen that very good thought process you have. So this stays with them, and then they will, in their whole life, they will follow this. So this is what we can make them change. And then one example I realized we can think of is like a kite. When we fly a kite, one end of the kite, that thread is in with us. But we just allow that the kite thinks that it is me who is flying high. So that what we are holding is the principles. What is holding that kite is that grounding, that root. It may go anywhere, it may fly so high, and then after it gets tired, or after what, and when we bring that kite back, it is completely satisfied. And it thinks, I did that flying. So the roots are like that. The tree, the leaves think that they are growing. The fruits think that they are coming on their own. But they are attached to the branch, the trunk, and that roots. So we should allow ourselves also, we should give that liberty to ourselves also to experience everything. We may adhere to one principle, we may not adhere to another principle, but we should allow ourselves to experience everything and then come to that conclusion. So these things are working for me, these things are not working for me. So these principles I'm going to follow in my life, and I'm going to stick to it. So I think this is what we learned from today's quote. And wonderful examples you have given everyone, so it becomes very easy to, connect. Thank you. Thank you so much. So for the next session, we will be ready with again some more interpretations and more explanations. Have a good day.